Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of the Prodigal Sons podcast. Episode 12. Holy shit, we've been doing this for 3 months.
Yeah.
If math
The
serves me
excitement
correctly.
is overwhelming.
Yay.
Yes, we have. Seems longer. Seems like 30 years. By the way, my name is Jared, and with me, as always, is...
I'm Brian.
And I'm Ian.
And I didn't forget, Adam is also here, too, the man in the
Hooray.
box. Shut the fuck up. Don't say anything. Don't you fucking dare talk till I look at you. Look at you. I'm not looking at you. Hey, guys. How was your weekend?
Outstanding.
Fuck you and your outstanding weekend.
Sorry, it was really good. I got I
What?
took a 3-day weekend, so I didn't go to work on Friday. There was in one of the nearby smaller towns of my tiny town, there was some sort of German-themed Christmas street festival, and I ate some German-themed food, and we had a lovely outing there.
You are fucking killing me.
What? It's a nice time. I enjoyed myself. Saturday,
What the fuck happened to you, man?
got married, slowed down a little bit. Saturday was something good, but I don't remember. I just assume it was good. And then Sunday.
Alzheimer's set
It
in?
is.
Is that what's going on?
I genuinely can't remember the details of Saturday. I don't think I traveled. Oh, no, there was a blizzard. There was a low-grade blizzard, and I just sat inside. And then Sunday was football. So that was awesome.
Brian, please give me something better than that.
There's not a chance. I took a 9-day weekend.
Ooh,
I was off all last
I knew
week.
That was nice.
And didn't get anything I wanted to get accomplished. So that was nice. My kids were sick. My daughter was sick and stayed home 2 days. So those 2 days I was watching her. And again, didn't get anything accomplished. The only thing I got accomplished was I went out to see a movie. I made time for myself to go out and see The Hobbit this week. And the low-grade blizzard hit here before it hit you guys, so I was shoveling snow most of Saturday. And that was about it. That was my weekend, or my entire week of doing nothing in a nutshell.
That's awesome.
Absolute nothing.
That sounds satisfying. And that reminds me, I watched like 4 movies on Saturday. That's why it was so good.
Oh, I also watched Dredd. So if
Ooh, was that good?
Yes.
Okay. I heard it was good.
I was hoping maybe you had seen it and we could all talk about it. I should have
I was
known
trying
better.
to figure out what that's so sad came from.
That's what it was.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? We can talk about Dredd, too. Fuck Ian and his... What movies... Wait. You know what? Maybe we'll save Dredd for another one. Ian, what 4 movies did you see?
You didn't... They're all... I'd rather not say.
Oh, now you have to say. What are they?
We watched The Way Back, which was very good. We watched The Heat, which was kind of funny. We watched The Santa Claus 2, which was better than it should have been. And I watched Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron.
You are so fucking fired. You're so fired. Brian,
I'm
get his
interested in
severance
seeing
package
The Way
ready.
Back.
Yes, it
I'm
was pretty
interested in
good.
seeing that.
It's heartwarming
The other
and
one's
funny.
gonna go blow.
The Way Back is the one where the kid works at the water park?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it's a heartwarming tale.
it's got the dean in it. And,
Yes, it does.
Okay. Well, we're not going to talk about those 4 crappy movies.
Sweet.
We're back on Dredd.
How was your weekend?
I got laid.
Nice.
That was bad.
That's doing better than me.
Oh, no, wait. I got laid Friday night. I attempted to see The Hobbit, which those plans got destroyed, and I ended up playing Game of Thrones, the board game.
Did you win?
And drinking and pizza. No, I did not win. Fuck the Baratheons.
They won again?
If you wanted me to go on to this game, I'll get into it. But and then Saturday, clearly I was stuck home with the blizzard too. So I think I just watched the Daily Show and played video games.
That sounds awesome.
And then Sunday I saw The Hobbit, and that was my weekend.
Before we get into anything else with the show, I would like to mention, and Jared, you also told me that we had some fairly negative feedback about our topics on some of our topics on last week's episode.
Yes.
I also received some feedback regarding our talking about.
Is it from Peter?
No. This is from a listener, an actual listener who I do not know in real life.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You go ahead.
Well, first of all, we'll do a recap. If you didn't happen to listen to last week's podcast, me, Brian, Ian, and Adam to some extent are all dirty liberals. Would you agree?
Filthy liberals.
Yes, and we discussed minimum wage, working on Black Friday, a couple other subjects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You go first, and then I'll jump in.
All right. So, basically, there was a tweet that was sent out. It did not mention our show, but again, this is a listener who I know, a person who listens to us very regularly and listens to my other show. So when I see his tweets, I typically, take a look, and it said.
Wait, before you start, you don't know this person in real life.
I do not know this person in real life. No, and it said it was disappointing to turn a podcast off 20 minutes in due to the topic or due to the nature of what was being discussed. And I just, on our Twitter handle, I responded to him and apologized, saying, "Oh boy, if it was us, not every show is going to be like that. It's not always going to be politics and liberal agenda." So, and he's like, "No, I understand." He's like, "And I really liked your the whole discussion you had about Orson Scott Card stuff." So he's like, maybe it was just the time and the place and whatnot, but he's like, "I know not every episode is going to be like that."
So, was he more upset with the fact that we were off topic? Or?
He listens to podcasts to escape real life.
I see. Okay,
junk.
So, okay, I got you.
Not tune in to hear the
because I had a fuck you poised
Rush
on my
Limbaugh
lips there for a second. I held
you
it back.
What now?
I had a fuck you poised on my lips.
No. He escapism. It was all about escapism.
Okay, if that's the case, and that is true, because we have been off topic about 2 weeks in a row. To be honest with you, we throw a little extra in there, so we really need to keep our eye on the prize for this show. No more fucking discussing my love life online. No fucking politics. We're gonna go straight into nerdcore shit.
It's going to happen. We're always going to want to talk about our lives in some fashion or our history together.
There's a crazy scandal going on that's driving me nuts. No, I'm just kidding. Good-looking people have it really easy.
So nice. What was your feedback?
My feedback was almost exactly the same in that he said, and he was a little more upset than your friend because he was like, "Yeah, I just shut it off 20 minutes in. I don't need to listen to your liberal bullshit." Is what he told me. Yeah, he's like, and I said, "Oh, come on, man." I'm like, we're not, it's open idea for everybody. And he's like, "Yeah, well, you guys shit on the South," which I don't think we did. Maybe it was implied.
Yeah, it was probably me
at some point.
I fucking hate the South. I think everybody from there is dumb.
And then we just lost half our listenership.
Well, I mean, look, it's an open forum, I mean. You don't know. I mean, listen, I have plenty of people that I hang out with that I don't agree with their politics. That's just the way the world is. If everybody agreed on everything, then this place would be really boring. And I think I had another more witty thing to say about that, but I fucking lost track.
Well, the only thing I said to you about the person who responded to you was I wish they would put a comment somewhere, either on the Facebook page or on our website or his Twitter or something.
Yeah, his comment was directly to me. Because I don't know him in real life, but I've spoken to him before he listened to the show. He loves the show, and all before that, I told him too. I said, "Listen, dude, if that's the case, you don't want to listen to my liberal bullshit. If you fast forward to an hour, we're talking about sliders and fucking mass toys and whatever have you. I mean, I agree, Brian. I don't want to stick to a regular format where we just talk about whatever. I want to talk about whatever's on your guys' mind. You got something on your mind, bring it up. So." Fuck it. Fuck all you motherfuckers, man. Did we lose any now?
I don't know.
Me.
Yeah, just Brian, apparently. I was on board for your rant. I was wrong to think that we had a format. I was told that the format was, 3 old friends and now 1 mostly quiet new friend just bullshitting about things that they want to bullshit about. If this is just a forum to discuss pop culture and nerd topics, I will keep my comments strictly to the reviewing things, and I apologize.
No, it's not. That's the point. Typically that is what it will be because that's what we're all interested in. But now and again, there is going to be the show where I talk about something from my life, or we talk about our history together because we still have never touched on how we met,
right,
or
what we did when we on the radio. We have not put that out there.
We touch on vagina. Wow, that joke worked on so many levels.
But yeah, there's no set format. It's just that one particularly, I guess, niggled a couple people.
Hey, man, that's what we're
Did
here
we really
for.
dog on the South? That doesn't sound familiar to me at all.
No, we didn't. A lot of people think when you don't agree with conservative politics that you're shitting on the South. Now, and Jay, if you're listening, that's not the case. We just don't agree on the same thing. I still think you're a good guy. That's the guy who gave me the comment. I actually know him. And people take it that way sometimes, unfortunately. So, whatever, man. Listen, it is what it is.
Can't we all just get along?
No, we can't all
Not
get
even
along.
kind of.
Listen, for all I know, people probably got mad because I kept going on about how I was going to move to Australia. Mainly because they have prostitution legal.
That was like half the show you talking about moving to Australia.
I know, exactly. They'd be like, fuck you, man. Fucking leave America. I love America. All right?
America.
I do love America. I love it like an adult relationship with me and another girl, and we both have a mutual love, and I can still see the faults in her. Some people love America like a 4-year-old loves their mother. Mom can do no wrong. Just put it to you that way.
Shitting on the South again.
Did I just say that goes shit on the South?
There goes the other half of our listeners.
We will never talk about politics again.
Yeah, I'm just stoked that we have listeners. I've heard about 3 more than I thought we had. This is awesome. It makes me feel...
For 11 episodes, Ian thought it was listener.
Yeah, I really did.
I like having Adam here. He laughs at all my jokes when you guys don't.
I got to be here for something.
Thank you, buddy. I actually am tickling him.
He's got a feather on a stick.
Laugh, motherfucker, laugh! Any other stuff you want to bring us down with, Brian?
Buzz Killington.
No, I just wanted to get that out in the open, out in the beginning.
That's fine, dude. That's fine, man. I like that. I want it to be like that.
I want people to know that we actually get some listener feedback, and we listen to that feedback.
I also got feedback from my friend Peter, not Brian's friend. My friend Peter.
Peter, I know.
No, not that Peter.
Same Peter?
It is the same Peter, but he got mad that I said that it was your friend. he said
I'm your friend too.
He did say, he's like, hey man, thanks for the shout. He goes, I'm your friend too. And I was like, yeah, I know. So I guess he was talking. Pete does love the political shit when we talk about the only other time I heard from him was when we went through that Ender game bullshit. And he talked to me about last week's podcast too. Apparently, he had a lengthy discussion with you, Brian, about Black Friday and took more of a pro corporation stance.
Yes.
Basically, but he explained that to me too. So we got yeah, we are getting feedback, Ian, from a lot of
That's
people.
exciting.
Of course, in the middle of the discussion, I'm like, I'm on my way to go see Frozen, so I want to continue this conversation, though, and then I left him hanging. I never got back.
No.
Sorry, Peter.
He was also
My
nice
bad.
enough to give me the link to the white man trying to get Asian women Tumblr so that I could read it again. I was so excited. I have something to do tonight after the show other than jerk off and play video games.
Hot.
Yeah.
That was for the ladies, Brian. All right, come on. Like I said, we're going to keep our eye on the prize. Fuck this shit. Let's get back into some nerd news.
Okay.
They have cast a woman for Wonder Woman for the Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Arrow movie. Did you hear about
I have heard about this, and I'm excited.
You're excited. So they cast a Israeli actress named Gal Gadot or Gal Gadot.
Sure.
Is that how they
Yes.
pronounce her name?
Gal?
I don't know how they
Gail
pronounce
or
her name
Gal?
correctly, but yes.
From what I know, she was in a few of the Fast and the Furious, going full circle again, back to this Paul Walker
Yeah.
shit.
She was in The Fast and the Furious, and she was in Date Night.
And you, Ian, you seemed very excited about
Sure.
this.
She seems lovely.
Oh, she was also in Night and Day. Come on, how can you leave out Night and
Is
Day?
that a movie?
Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz.
I'm not allowed to watch Tom Cruise
some
movies
kind
in our
of-
house. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Cut everybody off and destroy the flow.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sure. I again, I don't know. She doesn't have a huge body of work to sample from, but she seems nice, and she's nice to look at. I'm sure she'll do a great job as a Wonder Woman.
I fucking hate you. Brian, how do you feel?
I honestly don't know. I'm looking at pictures of her right now. She looks fine. She doesn't look like an Amazon to me. She doesn't look very...
She looks like a fucking 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, she doesn't look very... not muscular. That's not what I'm going for. She doesn't look. I don't know.
Toned?
She looks like you could
Toned,
rip her
thank
arm
you.
off
Toned,
if you wanted to. If
yeah.
you just grabbed onto her. She's very thin and skinny. Can you get an idea how I feel about it?
Hold on. Let me sit down for the shocker. Negatively.
I usually stand up for the shocker.
I prefer giving girls the Spocker.
The Prod Pod.
That's my own personal preference.
The Spocker.
I prefer the showstopper.
The showstopper? Actually, I prefer the minivan. 2 in the front, 5 in the back. I'll send you pictures.
I was saying boo earns.
Damn it. Back on
Yes.
track. We are back on track now. It was all worth that first 10 minutes of shit.
Right, I guess
Just for the minivan.
I have never, it really was. I've never seen an interpretation of Wonder Woman where she looked beefy or hardy. She's always looked lean and she's always looked sexy, and that has been apparently the two most important characteristics of Wonder Woman. I'm not sure what
but
you are lacking.
Okay, there's only been really 2 representations of a live-action Wonder Woman to begin with, not counting all the disgusting cosplay pictures that I have to look at when I do the YouTube videos, which I'm not doing that anymore, by the way. I'm done with that. I feel so stupid and dirty and copping out. It's horrible. But
That was your decision, my
It
friend.
was my decision, and it worked, unfortunately. And we'll see how it works for this other one. But, I mean, as I was doing it, and this is completely off track, I'm looking at these pictures, I go, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And I'm just like, cosplay pick, cosplay pick, cosplay pick. But anyway, the other 2 representations of a live-action Wonder Woman are Linda Carter,
Right.
who
Yeah.
was, I would not call her stick thin, you know. She had like more of a 70s hourglass thing going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that failed NBC pilot, which the girl's name's escaping me now.
I still have never seen that.
It's
And I've only
it's
seen
like
one.
Adrian Padalecki or something like that. And she was pretty body type wise. She almost had like a Linda Carter thing going on as well.
Yep, looking at it right now on IMDb.
Okay,
And that's the name, you're correct.
okay. So she had kind of like that thing. Now this other girl,
Right.
it looks way too young, way too skinny. Keep in mind she's going up against Ben Affleck, who's in his 40s. And Henry Cavill, who's, I believe he's like 30-something, mid-30s, I believe. What is this girl, like 17? 18?
I don't know.
12?
Ask Brian. Brian knows those sorts of things.
I was going to say, hold on. Let me click back a few.
Right.
Internet.
And now she's only been just cast, so, I mean, are you suggesting that Linda Carter didn't do any prep work for that role, and no one's ever done prep work for a role before, and they've never changed their
Okay,
physique
yeah.
or changed their appearance?
I will give you that. I hope she fucking bulks up a little bit, but I don't know. It's not who I would have picked.
She's 28.
She's 28.
There you go.
Yes.
Now I feel like a dick. All right, Gail Gadot, I guess you go right. No, I still hold fast. I don't like the way she looks. Too young, man. Too young. And it kills me because this is going to be the big time representation of Wonder Woman in a movie for once, and I don't know, they just went in the wrong direction. Would someone please agree? Adam, do you agree with me or not?
You're saying she's too young, but I mean, how
Too young
old
looking.
is?
Too young looking.
I was gonna say, how old is Wonder Woman supposed to be in the
I don't know.
DC universe?
Couple thousand years old.
Ageless.
Yeah, there you go.
Couple thou.
Boy, that movie was
Ian
bad.
gets so frustrated by my frustration.
Right. I just...
Because you love everything, man.
I like
You
lots
love-
of things. I don't love everything.
You love,
Man of Steel was
you
terrible.
love 98% of everything.
Not true.
You have no nerd conviction.
Not true.
Tell me something you hate.
Oh,
Chris
in
Brown?
general? I hate lots of things. Wait, what was it?
I hate Chris Brown.
I do hate
Puppies.
Chris Brown. I don't hate puppies. I'm not...
He watches dog shows. How can he
Right.
hate puppies?
Right, no, I'm a fan of puppies. I won't lie there. I do hate Chris...
You don't want to lose the puppy audience.
Right. Boy, like, there's so many things that I hate. I can't even focus.
Do you hate Kanye West?
I like his music, but I'm not sure if he's as ridiculous as he behaves, or if he does that intentionally to continue to draw attention to himself, to keep himself in the limelight, and continue to boost his career. So,
Do you hate R. Kelly?
should I? I don't know anything about him.
He did piss on a 16-year-old girl.
He is trapped in the closet.
The first thing is, Other than illegal, the first thing, if that's what he's into, if it's another consenting adult, I'm fine with him peeing on whoever he wants to pee on. The fact that she was...
Ian is asking the question, how old really is 15?
No, I said that's illegal. See, so that I don't approve of. Trapped in the closet, that's too bad. I'm sure he'll work his way out eventually.
Do you even know what he's talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about. Why would I know what he's talking about?
It's like a 25-part song that he's been coming out with for the past 10 years.
Oh, that's... Yeah, I'm not familiar with
make
his
it
music,
seem-
really, unfortunately.
I was trying to make it seem like you were like racist against black musicians.
I saw where you were going. But
Oh! Sort of. Not more so than anybody else. But...
oh, my God. Ian, you just won back the South, buddy. Nice job. Masterfully played.
I didn't think I was excessively. I would say more prejudiced than racist, but...
I'm dying over here.
Do you need emergency medical attention?
Oh, my God.
Score one for Man in the Box.
Oh, my God. So, Brian, how do you feel about this one?
It's all good. Don't worry about it. I think she'll be fine.
Okay.
She won't be any worse than the rest of the movie.
Okay. So you're saying she's clearly not going to be the worst part.
Right.
Okay. Well, what other stuff were we talking about? New stuff that we were going to mention?
Peter O'Toole?
I don't want to talk about that.
All right. You could have just said that when I brought it up earlier. Okay. We won't talk about Peter O'Toole.
I thought you were kidding.
No.
All right, fine. We'll talk about Peter O'Toole.
I mean, if you don't have anything to talk about him, that's fine.
I really don't. I have
then
really
don't worry
nothing
about
to
it.
say on him. I can't even think of a movie I fucking saw him in.
My only movie that I like with him in it, well, not the only one I like with him in it, but the one that's most memorable for me is The Lion in Winter.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Which is it's a classic movie with him and Katharine Hepburn and Anthony Hopkins. He's King Henry, or King Henry II. It's a very good movie, and I would suggest everyone go see it.
I agree. Lawrence of Arabia was also excellent. It's obviously what he's most famous for, but there's a good reason. It was very good. I also recommend that everybody go see it, or at least make some time for it at some point in your life.
And he was in Caligula and Supergirl.
Why don't you just go run down every fucking movie he was in?
He was in fucking Supergirl. It's relevant. And that's our tribute to Peter O'Toole.
Yep.
Thank you.
You guys just named two movies. You're like, he was good in it.
He was.
He's in
I've never
The
seen the
Tudors.
movie that he was in, so I couldn't add anything to this conversation.
He's in The Tudors, the sexy time show my wife watches all the time now.
Okay.
That's all.
This is shaping up to be a fucking fantastic episode.
Is the Tudor still on the air?
No.
Oh, okay.
He was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. So you have seen a movie that he's in.
I never saw Phantoms, motherfucker.
Are you serious?
No, I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually listed on the box art.
Wow.
He's not in the picture of the box art, but he's listed on it.
I used to always get him confused with, is it John Hurt?
I don't know, is it?
Is it, or, no, I'm thinking of the actor. Who's the one
Is
from,
that who used to get him?
who was the guy from Alien who had the
Yes,
first
John
chest
Hurt.
person? Yeah, I always get him those two confused.
John Hurt was the new doctor. He was the war doctor on Doctor Who.
Yeah.
You would know that if you watched it.
That's my tribute to Peter O'Toole. I thought he was somebody else sometimes. I'm not even drunk yet. Is that it? Nobody else has got anything?
Fucking
Brian,
retard.
you saw Dredd over the weekend,
I did.
and the final verdict is
Meh. No, I
fuck you.
No, I liked it. And I remembered what you said. Like, hats off to what the hell's his name?
Now, you made fun of me about that Christian Bale thing, huh?
What the fuck's his name? I know you know him because you're in love
Carl
with him.
Urban.
Yes. That he never took the helmet off the entire movie.
That was a class move on his part.
Yeah. And I honestly, I swear that they had his mouth in a permanent frown the entire movie to make him look like Stallone in that helmet.
No, I still think that's Carl Urban's resting position.
Bitchy rest face.
Yeah.
I thought it was
fucking miserable.
Yeah, I thought it was actually very well done, and another movie where Lena Headey is in it. And I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised to see her in it. I liked the action was great. The premise was a really good premise. I mean, it could have been anything. It didn't have to be did not have to be Judge Dredd, which I've heard a lot of people say that this is a not necessarily a ripoff, but very similar to the movie Raid Redemption, which I have yet to see, but I've heard is very good. But it's the same.
I think I know the movie you're talking about. Yeah,
get to the top of the building to stop the crime, to stop the crime syndicate.
But you could say the same thing, that it was like, oh, it's a Die Hard ripoff. They're stuck in a building.
Oh, it was it was like that too. But I guess there's a lot of similarities between this and Raid Redemption, and they came out around the same time.
Well, either way, I love the fact that it was not like Dredd needs to save the city or Dredd needs to, stop this major plot. Dredd just needed to get the fuck out of that building and arrest the bad guy. Yeah. And that was the movie. And that's what I loved about it. And I was like, it's just a simple action flick with a great action and a great character.
But I like the little things they did in it. The the weaponry, the gun that the judges carry. They had certain things in it that I really liked, and the whole. See, I don't know much about Judge Dredd, the comic book.
Nobody does.
The character. I felt they gave you just enough. They gave you a 1 minute info dump at the beginning, and put you in the place and time of what's taking place on the screen, and I felt it was just enough. And,
what about the scene where you might actually have gotten a little backstory on Dredd when she starts to read his mind, and the captain's like, "Hey, you can stop reading his mind now," and you don't get anything else? Mm-hmm. I was like, "That's great. I don't want anyone to know what Dredd did. Another fact that he's a badass."
I actually liked the character, the sidekick, again, the storyline of him. He was taking out a rookie who was a mutant and had psychic powers. And I liked that storyline. I liked what they did with that character and what they did with the rest of the storyline with that. So I enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. I thought
big
it was going to
push
be terrible.
For a sequel for that movie. I don't know if it'll ever happen because I don't think it made that much. But
they definitely set it up for a sequel because it was a good introduction to the character.
Well, I'm sure everybody wants to have sequels to their movies. They set them up. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to happen.
But what I'm saying is I felt that especially after the original Judge Dredd, this was a really good setup for the character. Like, what he's about, what he's been through, especially in this particular story. You know that he's the badass and that he's not a dirty cop. That I felt that it would be good to build off that and actually start building a movie universe off.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how good your premise is or how much you set up. If people don't want to go see the movie, it ain't going to happen.
I understand.
So,
but it probably suffered from the fact that the original Judge Dredd was terrible.
I could imagine that a lot of people. I mean, I talked to people before that movie came out. I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, "Oh, this doesn't look half fucking bad." I was like, I wasn't, totally sold on it. I mean, I feel bad that I didn't go see it in the theater. I waited till it was on Netflix. But I talked to some people who were like, "Fuck that! I saw the Sylvester Stallone one. It's going to be stupid." Or, "Fuck that! I like the Sylvester Stallone one. I'm not going to go see that." Which that one I was like, "We're not friends anymore. I'm sorry." But I was really surprised by the reaction. So you're probably right. It suffered very, very much from that. So if you had not seen this movie yet, and the Sylvester Stallone one left a bad taste in your mouth, really go to Netflix or rent it, Redbox it, whatever you have to do, because I would really like to see a sequel to this flick.
Right? Yeah. Let's get enough people on the back end watching it, so maybe they'll notice. I highly doubt it. Carl Urban has moved on to other things, obviously, but he could always come back for a sequel to this.
He can make the time.
Yeah.
All right.
Was this in the can prior to Star Trek, or did he actually make it between?
I think he made it. Well, there was a 4-year gap between the two Star Treks, so I'm sure he made it in between there.
Okay, I just thought maybe he made it prior to Star Trek, and then when Star Trek came out and made it big, maybe they pulled it out of the mothballs.
No, because Carl Urban, he gets a lot of playtime and other. He was in Red and a couple other things. You're looking at me like
I saw Red recently, and I don't even remember him in it.
Really? He plays like the
he was the
young agent.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, he's in Red. He shows up.
He's Eomer in the Lord of the Rings series, by the way.
That's really where he got his like notoriety.
Yeah.
I think he was
And
in
Hercules: The Legendary Journeys.
And he was.
Oh, he was in that too?
He was in the sequel to the second Riddick movie.
Oh yeah.
He
that's
was
right.
he was the
Chronicles.
general. Yeah,
Yeah.
the general of the Necromongers. He was hunting.
He was also in Doom.
Yep.
Holy smokes, this guy's in
And
everything.
Ghost Ship. Yeah.
He was in Ghost Ship. He was good in Ghost Ship.
Dude, that movie was terrible, though.
That movie was fucking great. I loved it. I completely forgot about it. I need to go watch that again. What was that movie about again?
A ship with ghosts on it.
Doesn't know what it was about, but he loved it.
They called it the boat that couldn't slow down.
And in case you didn't know, he was also in Star Trek,
Exactly.
where his role keeps getting shorter and shorter. And so I imagine the third one, he's not even going to be in it.
Maybe it'll just be all him. Maybe the third movie will be all about bones.
That would
In
be
fact,
awesome.
that should be the subtitle.
Star Trek 3,
all
Bones.
about bones.
Okay, so we all like Dredd, except for Ian, who didn't see it.
Right.
He instead watched Santa Claus 2.
Santa Claus 2.
Sorry.
And something
And
else.
Spirit.
I don't think it's been a long years since I've ever just watched a movie for my own benefit, and I'm sure it will be a long time before I ever get to do again.
Well, it is streaming on Netflix.
Right.
It's an hour and 40 minutes.
Right, but like Jared's awesome life, like that's what fills any free time I get. The second I get free time, I'm either going to play video games or jerk off. I'm not going to waste it watching a movie.
I mean, I do those things
can't
too,
argue
but
with you on that.
I carve an hour and 40 minutes out once in a while to watch a movie. And that night I decided to do that instead of beat it.
You're a brave
Sometimes
man.
I put Dredd on the TV and then beat off on the computer. I mean, I like to do them both at the same time.
Multitasking.
Get excited with all that CGI blood. But then again, you just watched 4 movies.
Right, but
This weekend.
With his
yes,
wife.
they were things that Kelly would also be interested in.
So, I mean, out of the 4 movies, you're not allowed to throw one in the mix and be like, hey, I just saw Santa Claus 2 the way back and Cimarron, the spirit of some fucking stupid-ass horse. Can I watch a little Dredd? Can we throw Dredd in the mix here? No?
Yeah, I feel like I probably could, but I never do. I'm kind of a pussy, in addition to all the other awful things that I am.
I mean, your wife doesn't say, hey, honey, do you want to watch something? Because I see her dick getting smaller as I keep playing these movies. Well, Ian, you got to find time, man. You need a little me time or you're going to die. You're slowly dying inside. And you're going to wind up like Brian, who somehow still manages to find time.
Right? I'll strike a balance here before it's too late.
Well, Brian, why don't you give him some advice? How did you find the time to watch Dredd? Where was your wife? Where were your kids?
Bed.
He's a lurker at night.
I think the kids were in bed, and I think Kim was still at work. So I'm like, well, I could sit here and play Dead Rising 2.
Right? That sounds awesome.
Or I can watch this movie. And I'm like, you know what? I feel like watching a movie tonight. So Dredd's on my list, and it's been there for a little while since I saw it came to Netflix streaming, so I'll throw that on. Only an hour and 40 minutes of my life. So I sat down and watched it.
Which you could have spent jerking off.
Right. Or playing Dead Rising 2. Or playing that fucking Magic the Gathering game on the Xbox that you're always playing.
There's lots of games I could play that I have on the Xbox, but I decided to watch a movie instead. It's called Priorities. Or Prioritization.
Right, I understand. A movie never moves up to the number 1 spot. I don't know why. It just doesn't.
I would have to say for like a movie, like with regarding Dredd and Ian, he's probably like, it's not something he's dying to see. It's probably something on his list that he's like, oh, I know I might want to see that. I might like it. But I think I'm the same way where I'd be like, well, I have other things I might rather want to do than watch this movie that I might not necessarily like or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody.
No, I totally agree with that. That's a totally accurate assessment. I've heard
Because
nothing.
if it's a movie, like, say, like, tomorrow Netflix started streaming the new Hobbit movie. Like, I know it's
right.
Regardless, you'd be like, oh, fuck, I'll make time to watch that.
Damn right I would.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. Out of curiosity, how long does it take you to jerk off, man? I mean,
it depends on how involved I want to get.
I'm with you on that too, my friend. Sometimes I'll set aside 2 hours. This is gonna be a long one.
Right. It depends. Yeah, it really does. Because you're looking at porn and you're like, nah, do I really want to waste my load on this girl, or can I wait for the next girl who might be even hotter?
Brian's like, you sons of bitches, I have 45 seconds to get this book.
That's pretty much where I was going to say. But...
Oh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry, man.
Don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
Wow, I never want to get married now.
No, it's great. Join us.
Are you guys interested in documentaries at all?
I like documentaries.
I do sometimes.
You guys want to watch one that'll break your fucking heart?
The Bridge?
No.
I want to see that one.
Watch Blackfish.
Oh.
I
can't, I guess.
Is that the one that...
I've heard so much about it, and I know all about it.
Is that the one where Shamu eats people?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't show it?
Yeah.
They do show a lot of stuff in it, though. I mean, if you just want to get off on the fact of watching killer whales maul people, you'll get plenty of that.
Well, that was Sunday for us. You know, at lunch we were just laughing at Shamu killing people.
Yeah. Well, because there's some funny stories in it. About the dirty hippie who decided to go swim with the killer whale and got killed.
That's the one that broke into the park to swim with the killer whale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the morning when they all showed up, the whale was swimming around the pool with the body on his back, like parading it off.
Like playing with it? Yeah.
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 Bit his dick off, too.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah. Watch Blackfish.
Was he trying to bang the blowhole?
I don't know what this guy was trying to do, but the whale was like, I'm going to bite your tiny little pecker off. Oh, yeah. And if you ever want to see a killer whale dick, this is the movie to see it, too, because you watch them jerk them off for about 5 minutes.
Hot.
It's amazing.
That combines two things that Ian wants to see in a
myself.
movie. There you go, Ian. That's how you can watch a movie.
That is not...
The jerking off is in the movie.
That is not satisfying. I will not move that to the top of my queue.
I saw The Cove. It's like the same thing, right?
Why would you not want to see Blackfish? I don't understand.
I feel I saw it all in The Cove. Stupid shit happens when you do things with animals that you're not supposed to.
Well, let me put it this way: if you watched it, you'll never go to SeaWorld. You'll never take your kids to SeaWorld. You'll never do anything like that.
I got a secret for you.
You're never taking them to SeaWorld.
I'm never going to SeaWorld anyway.
I thought you were into all that shit.
That SeaWorld is not Disney World. Let's get that down, Jared.
I'm sorry.
I went to SeaWorld with my parents when I was young,
Yeah.
and it was terrible. It was fucking terrible.
Why? I think I went with a kid. I think I liked it.
I hate animals.
How could you fucking hate animals? Okay, you know what?
No, I don't
Blackfish.
hate animals. Fish just bore me to tears. I mean, I don't give a fuck about watching the whales and the dolphins and shit in the pool. I don't care. I'd much rather go on a fucking ride at Disney World.
Huh. See, I'm not going to watch Blackfish for the opposite reason. I don't need any of that ruined for me. I love SeaWorld. I love aquariums. I even love the shitty low-rent dolphin show that they have at Hershey Park that I go see once a year when I go down there.
You'd rather be ignorant
Absolutely.
to what's actually going on?
Of course.
And you'll still continue...
I don't want
Ignorance
to...
is bliss.
Seriously, I don't want to start
understand
fucking
that.
hating things that I like.
Okay. What's wrong with this country?
And you're enacting change by not going? Zing, you got me.
In some part I am
You are
because
not.
I do like aquariums and shit like that.
And now
Just
you're
like you.
missing out.
No. Because first of all, an aquarium, it's not so bad. But what they do to these fucking killer whales at SeaWorld is fucking horrible. So there, I just ruined it for you now, so you can think about that when you go to SeaWorld.
I'll be...
Zing!
Nah.
I got you, motherfucker.
I'll be able to block it out with alcohol.
Yeah, you'll in the back of your head, you'll be going, I wonder what he was talking about. The whales look so
They
happy.
do.
So, have you seen The Bridge that I mentioned?
No.
Do you know what it's about?
No.
It is a year's worth of footage from the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, is this where the people are jumping off?
Yes.
Yeah, I do want to see that. Is
I've
that
been
on
wanting
Netflix?
to see this forever. I keep waiting for it to show up streaming, and it's never on stream. It never comes to streaming for some reason.
Oh. Ian, you probably don't want to watch it because you probably got like a big hard on for the Golden Gate.
No, I hate San Francisco.
Because of the gays.
No.
I was gonna say I don't even want to get
No,
into
it
this.
has nothing to do with the gays. The gays are probably lovely, and they don't really... The last time I was in San Francisco, I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm surrounded by gays. Even if I was, that probably would have been more fun. It was brainy and it was miserable. I just don't like the town. It's hilly. The roads are too narrow. Everything's super expensive. there was no appeal other than getting to see some of my friends.
All right. See anybody jump off the Golden Gate
I
Bridge?
did not.
Damn.
Nope.
That's what I'd go. I just hang out there all day. Motherfucker, you gonna jump? Oh, you just fishing? All right.
But I did see some seals, and I was entertained. And I was in no way concerned about them being mistreated.
Were they wild seals or were they in cages?
They were wild.
They're wild on the docks.
Oh, all right. Well, they probably weren't being mistreated. Anyway, I'm just saying, for anybody who has a social conscience or a fucking heart, you might want to watch Blackfish, as opposed to these two heartless motherfuckers who are like, fuck it, I'll keep going to SeaWorld. I don't want to know how they're mistreated.
Don't lump him in this. He doesn't go to SeaWorld. He hates SeaWorld.
That's
He's
true.
never
He
been
just
there.
fucking, he's like, fucking fish? I'm not into that shit. I like to eat them. Do you even like, you probably don't even like that.
Nope.
He's banning fish across the board. I don't want to look at him. I don't want to eat him. Did you like have a bad experience when you were a child, like maybe fishing on a lake or something?
No, they're not entertaining to me whatsoever, and they're also not delicious mostly. Mostly. Every now and again, there will be a delicious one.
Like at Arthur Treacher's?
Yes. The hush puppies.
When you deep fry them sons of bitches, then I'm into fish. I'm with you on that. All right, you want to move on to the big chunk of something that we're going to talk about?
Big chunk of something.
Big chunk of shit.
And I'd like to hear your opinion first.
I have a feeling I know where yours is going, so...
I don't know how you possibly could.
The vitriol in your voice is...
No, I sound like this all the time.
Well, the sequel to The Hobbit came out this weekend.
The unneeded sequel to The Hobbit.
The Desolation of Smaug.
Smaug.
Brian and I saw it. Ian did not, so we're going to try to keep this relatively spoiler-free, but there's really nothing to spoil, to be quite honest with you.
Nope.
Me? You want to know what I thought?
Yes, please.
I liked it.
That's it? That's your review?
Good night.
All right.
Yeah, I really did like it. And I'll tell you what, and I have you two to thank for it. You two motherfuckers made me like this movie. You want to know why?
You two meaning Ian and I?
Yes. I wasn't looking at Adam. Adam only talks when I look at him. I'm looking at him now.
I like.
Shut the fuck up. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Good answer. No, and I'll tell you the reason why you two guys made me like it. Because I was really down on the first Hobbit. I felt there was way too much shenanigans going on in that movie with the dwarves and the craziness and the farting and the eating and what have you. And I had brought this up on the podcast, and you're like, you're a fucking idiot. It's a kid's movie. It's a kid's book, and it's a kid's movie. And I rewatched it with that thought in the back of my head. And I was like, you know what? It's not half bad if you look at it that way. You know? And then I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. And then I went to the second movie, which didn't have as much shenanigans as the first one. It had some shenanigans. There was a lot of stuff like that. But it wasn't nearly as bad. And overall, I enjoyed it. The 2 hours and 40 minutes went by pretty quickly for me. Brian, why do you not like this movie?
In the immortal words of one Jay Sherman, it stinks. I was okay with the first Hobbit movie. I thought it was fine. I didn't love it by any means.
It's amazing that I was down on the first one and liked this one. You had no problem with the first one. This one you seem to literally hate.
Because I feel that this film exacerbated or really shone a spotlight on the fact that there was so much fucking filler in these movies to stretch it out over 3.
Right.
That I had told people, like, oh, are you going to see The Desolation of Smaug? Why don't you go see something else for an hour and 40 minutes and then jump into the movie at the last hour? You'll be good.
But
it was...
you knew this, right? I mean, you knew this going into it, that they stretching out, even if they stretched out one book into 2 movies, was what they originally had planned, and now 3, you knew there was going to be filler in it.
It was so much filler, though. Like, okay, so I don't remember the entire storyline of The Hobbit. I know the highlights. I remember, the general flow of the story, but I couldn't remember what happened between, the barrels and Lake Town, and then I just don't remember particular things.
I'm with you.
Watching
I barely remember it either.
But watching it, I'm like, this is just, let's fill 20 minutes with this ridiculous battle scene. Or let's...
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Like, if they decided, like, after this, when the third movie comes out, they've done everything. They did Lord of the Rings. They did The Hobbit now. If they said, you know what? People seem to love this shit. We're just going to completely make up a story now set in the Tolkien Middle-earth universe. Would you be like, fuck that, I don't want to see that?
Well, they don't have to because of the Silmarillion. They can just go and do the Silmarillion.
Say they use that up, too. I'm talking about they make absolutely new, brand new content that Tolkien had nothing to do with. It's just set in his universe. Would you be okay with that? Or would you
might be interested in it if it was good. I mean,
okay,
I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like so you felt that the filler in this movie was not only that it felt like filler to you, you felt it was bad.
It felt like filler. It felt like it didn't move the story along. It felt like it was just shit that was jammed in there to stretch the movie out. Which is what the filler is. I
understand what you're saying because obviously I knew that every time Legolas was on screen, that this was all made up shit. But to the reason I don't
even remember that. I wasn't sure if Legolas was even in the book. I couldn't remember.
No, Legolas is not in The Hobbit at all.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I didn't think he was, but they brought him into this movie, so I figured maybe he actually was, and I didn't remember. I knew that the Broad wasn't.
Yeah, she's a completely made up. Well, you had to assume because she was running around with Legolas that. You know,
he could have just been running around by himself, and they put in the love story
he's
thing.
He's absolutely not in The Hobbit.
Okay, fine.
So knowing this, I'm like, well, you know what? I don't care because I want more Middle Earth. I don't care if you're stretching it out longer because I like the way it's directed. I like all the characters. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I understand. You know, give me more. Make up shit. I don't care.
I wanted to get to the meat of the story, which is supposed to be the dwarves and the Hobbit on their journey to Lonely Mountain, and I'm getting all this other shit that's trying to tie into the war that's coming, which I guess is fine. It's just not what I wanted. It's not what I expected.
Well, you would have.
It should have been from the first movie. I should have known that they were going to continue the storyline of like the war that we know about coming is coming, and this is a precursor to it, and we're going to show more shit for that.
Right.
Okay. So here's the other part, which might not have affected you because I don't know if you saw it in high frame rate.
No, we saw it in 24, non 3D, otherwise known as 2D.
Right, I saw it in high frame rate 3D. Now go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay, sorry. The thing went. Just cut this out. So I saw it in high frame rate, and I don't know if you remember when we talked about The Hobbit last time. I said I thought I had seen the original one in high frame rate,
but you didn't.
I can clearly tell you now I did not see the first one in high frame rate. Holy shit.
Now, did you see it 48 frames 3D?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Sorry, dude.
It was...
I heard it kind of distracts from the whole experience.
It does. Very much so. Not that it looks bad. It looks good. It's weird because it looks like you're watching a telenovela. It looks like you're watching a live soap opera being performed right in front of you.
That's what people were telling me, that it looks like you're looking through the window into an actual place.
Yes. Now, that was a little disconcerting because it's not something you typically watch in a film. You don't watch a film like that.
Right.
But then you also start to pick up other things that you might not have picked up in the movie because of how clear it is and how weird it looks.
You're like, Ian McKellen has acne all over his face.
It was very odd. It's the facial expressions. Some people in the movie looked like they were phoning it in. When you watch it in this high frame rate, it altered everything I saw on the screen.
Really?
Not only that, the score did not match up. Because when you watch a film, things look grandiose, and the score reflects that.
Right.
But when you're watching it in high frame rate, it does not look nearly as grandiose, and the score sounded ridiculous.
So the movie was made more comical by seeing it in high frame rate. You've watched the Harry Potter movies? Yes.
Okay. The moving pictures in the Harry Potter universe?
Right.
That's what it felt like to me.
Okay.
It felt very odd. I don't know how else to put it. but the score did not match up, and it took me completely out of it. So that could have been part of it. But I felt the other part of it was the stupid shit that was going on the screen to go along with the high frame rate. That whole barrel sequence was terrible. Like, oh my God.
See, I had no problem with that.
Hurt. Legolas standing on the heads of the dwarves.
Oh, well, I had brought this up when we walked outside the theater. I said, there's no end to the ridiculousness that Legolas can do.
Right.
But this has been established in the other movie, so I expected it.
It goes back to what we were saying. Yes, it's more of a children's type story, and it's more fanciful than the Lord of the Rings trilogy is. That's played for straight. This is played somewhat more comical, but I think they took it too far this time around.
Did you see the first movie?
Yes.
Have you seen some of the physics-bending things that these hobbits and dwarves can do? Falling down caverns like miles and monsters landing on them? I was like, Legolas stepping on a couple dwarves' heads? Yeah, I can accept that.
Now, I will say the last third of this film is fantastic.
The stuff with Smaug.
Yes.
That is one hell of a CG character that they pulled off.
Yes. Anything that has to do in the confines of Lonely Mountain is tremendous. Everything they did inside Lonely Mountain, because there was what I assume is more filler, because again, I don't remember, but it seems to be. I don't remember there being as much battle-y type things in the book.
I don't know if, because again, I don't remember much from the book either, but I would imagine that end scene, I don't want to give it away for Ian, where they pull their little thing off right before the end. I don't know if that's in the book.
I think that all of that was made up.
But you're okay with that?
Yes, because it was. I felt like it wasn't comical.
Right.
I felt it was played straight. It added to the story somewhat, and it looked fantastic. What they did with Smaug is amazing.
Yeah, Ian, if you've seen some of the amazing stuff they did with Gollum,
right?
You know how they make him look, especially in in the last movie, like they really leaps him. You know, it's been 10 years later, so the technology has improved astronomically. That shit looked real. What they did with the dragon was fucking nuts.
Yeah,
it just looked so cool. Like just seeing him off kind of in a distance and turning and looking at the camera with those eyes, you're like, oh my God, man. They really gave you the scope and size of that dragon.
Yep.
Sweet. That's exciting.
Yeah, and how they pulled off all that, like him running around in the gold and all the money falling and shit like that. Like, I can't even imagine CG guys sitting there having to animate all that shit. I'm sure they had to come up with some money falling program to do this. But
they
it was
modeled it off of Scrooge McDuck's money bin.
That's all I could think about when I was looking at it. But it was nuts. Now, let me ask you this. Were you impressed by the fact that Orlando Bloom was able to play two roles in the movie? He was able to play Legolas and Will Turner.
Who?
Right over his fucking head.
Right
over his head. You didn't think that the one guy in Lake Town, Bard, looked exactly like Orlando Bloom in
Not
Pirates
at all.
of the You really? Because
No.
everybody else I talked to was like, yeah, he looked just like Will Turner.
No. Sorry. He
All
looked
right,
like the
Ian,
guy in this movie.
Ian, you will be the deciding factor when you go and see this movie.
All right. I'll be mindful of someone in Lake
Yes.
Town that looks like Orlando Bloom's character from Pirates.
Yes.
Okay.
So, overall, not impressed with the first two-thirds of the film. Some of it was okay. But that last third is amazing. Probably not worth the price of admission to the high frame rate 3D film.
Out of curiosity, how much is a ticket for that?
Well, I saw it it was the first show of the day. So I saw it was $11.
That's a matinee price. How much would it be at night?
I'm guessing 19.
Holy shit.
Oh no, because it wasn't IMAX, so maybe 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did not see it on IMAX. I'm wishing I saw it standard frame rate now, but I still feel I would have not enjoyed the beginning of it.
There was never a moment in that movie. There was only a couple times where I felt it kind of ground down to a halt. Is some of the stuff with Evangeline Lilly and her little side story. I was like, bored, move on. Anytime Legolas is on the screen, I was just like, "Oh, there's craziness going on," because the guy never stops for a minute. Even when he's just standing there, he's doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then I remember at one point when the movie was playing, and they cut back to Gandalf, and I was like, "Oh, Gandalf's in this movie." I forgot.
Right.
Because I swear there was like a 45-minute chunk where you didn't see him.
So I had texted you and asked you if you enjoyed the two drug like scenes in the film. Do you know what I was talking about?
No. Oh, you mean when they're walking through the forest?
There's that one.
Right.
And then there's the other one where Gandalf looks into the eye of Sauron, basically, and the eye keeps coming at the screen.
Oh, yeah.
One inside the other. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool looking, but I felt like it was like 1970s drug.
Well, we probably didn't get the same effect that you did.
Oh, true. Yeah. It probably looked a lot cooler in 3D. And then less cooler with high frame rate.
Now, and again, because I'm not familiar with the story that much anymore, when all that stuff is going on at Lake Town and they're in the mountain and Bilbo's running around with the dragon, in the books, if you remember, is Gandalf with them at this point?
I know. I think he says he's going to meet them, and I don't think he gets there.
But what is his... Because all that shit with Sauron is not in the Hobbit, so where was Gandalf in the book during all this?
I think that you find... I don't think they actually say it in the book. Like, I don't think they... we're gonna have people yelling at us because I don't remember. But I think that he is gone, and then it turns out that he is basically doing some of the shit that's going on the screen. Like, he's investigating something.
Right, off screen. If I was explained correctly, that in the book he does. He vanishes and then comes back for the end. What they've added to the movie is what he did while he was gone.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, that was my question. I didn't know if they had just forcibly removed him from that scene and made him do all this other stuff.
No, he does leave, but I don't know if what he does is the stuff that they're... I think they just kind of like, oh, let's explain where he was. And this is what they're saying.
Yeah, the Gandalf stuff kind of bored the hell out of me, too, for a while. On a side note, the guy who does the mocap and voice for the one villainous orc, the main one, not the second one that took the main one's place for a while.
Right. Like, hey, I need to stay here. You go in my place.
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
No.
That is Slade Wilson from Arrow.
Oh, that's exciting.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know that till I got the special edition of The Hobbit, and I was watching behind the scenes, and I'm like, oh my god, they brought in fucking Slade. He does all the mocap, all the voices, and everything for that character.
Huh. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
There you go. Peter Jackson likes to keep all the New Zealanders contained into one area.
That just makes me want to talk about Arrow now, damn it.
I know, but we won't. We can talk off the podcast. Or wait for... Ian, have you caught up yet?
Nope, not even close.
Oh, you fucking asshole.
No, he's too busy jerking off.
Hey.
Oh. Jerking off and watching...
Thanks, Brian. At least one of you's listening.
That and watching Tim...
Santa Claus.
Who's the guy from Santa
Tim
Claus?
Allen.
Tim what?
Tim
Allen movies. Well, in the end, it looks like we're a little decisive on this. I gave it a thumbs up, and Brian's saying, no, go fuck yourself, J.R.R. Tolkien.
Right, but he's saying be cautious, and he had some open-minded points. I was just curious, are you suggesting that I not go see this in IMAX?
Oh, well, I can't say one way or the other because I did not see it in IMAX.
Oh, okay.
I would say that the last third of the film might look crazy good in IMAX.
Right.
Because it'll probably give a even more enormity to the size of Smaug. But maybe save a few bucks and then go see Frozen instead.
Not go
Well,
see Frozen.
if we learned anything last week, we know that's not going to happen. I would say this, Ian. Be wary of any version you're going to see that's 48 frames. Because Brian is not the first person to bring this up to me.
Okay.
It's disorienting
How do
and
I know
horrible.
how many frames I'm going to see?
I would
It
ask.
says, well, it says typically says HFR when you're buying
Okay.
the tickets, or if you're looking online at the Times at the box office,
gotcha.
it'll say HFR after it.
Okay, thanks.
And like I said, I purposely went to check out the HFR because I thought I saw the first one in high frame rate, and I'm like, well, if I didn't, now I know definitely I'm seeing this one, and I wanted to, because I had heard things also, Jared, like you're saying,
Right.
and I wanted to see for myself because who knows if I'll ever get to, because who knows what other movies are ever going to be made in high frame rate,
Avatar
because
2.
it's not catching on. It's not a thing. People don't like it.
It's not a thing.
So these might be the only ones you see.
Now, I was told by someone sitting across from me that if you play enough video games, the 48 frames per second shouldn't be an issue, but you do play video games, and it was a problem for you.
Yeah, because video games are video games, and this is real life. It's not a video game.
That's what I read. I read an article, and so
I don't know. I mean, I don't. Maybe they haven't perfected the technology. I don't know, but I yet to have seen a problem with 24 frames per second where I was like, you know what, this could be better. So, Ian, I would say go IMAX if it's 24 frames. If not, I would go to a regular theater and watch it in regular, like us regular people.
Okay.
Now, I think you're going to enjoy it. Brian's like, no, it's got too much bullshit in it.
Well, because I think Frozen fits into the first 2/3 of it, and then just hop on over and see the dragon, and you'll be good.
Ian, did you like the first one?
No, not that much.
Oh, all
then
right.
you'll like this one.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, then you'll like this
Yeah,
one.
the first one had a lot of... again, maybe if I go into it with a new attitude, if I, just want to enjoy the universe, there was just some nonsense in the first one that I didn't like most of the things Jared didn't like. I didn't like any of the singing. I don't like fart jokes. I didn't like when the two mountains randomly started fighting one another. That was just ridiculous. I didn't like when they went into the Goblin King's lair and plummeted to the center of the earth and got up and was like, oh, that's too bad. It was just, there was not a lot of... my expectations were too high for the first one. I think I'll like this one because I'm going in with completely different expectations.
You know what? I think you're going to like it then, because I think that's how I did. After rewatching it, knowing what I was in for, I was like, you know what? It is what it is. It's not exactly Jar Jar Binks. So, and I liked it. I had fun.
You're weird.
I will remain optimistic.
Apparently the new Avatar movies will be partially filmed in 48 frames per second, so...
You'll
get your chance to watch those terrible, shitty movies in 48 frames.
Do you really think that I'm going to go see Avatar 2?
I hate myself for being duped into finally seeing Avatar. Back when they brought it back into the theaters with 11 extra minutes of footage, I'm like, well, everybody says that this movie's so fucking great. Now is my chance to go see it. Oh, what a fucking turd.
I think I went... it might have been a
Unobtainium.
month after it was out in the theater, so I still went when it was... I didn't have that extra 11 minutes that you're talking about. Maybe that would have made a difference. I don't know.
We saw it in 3D, Jared.
And we did see it in 3D.
Oh, I saw it in 3D IMAX when it came back out.
Mainly because everyone was like, you're not going to fucking believe this, man. It looks real. Everything's in front of your face. And then I went and saw it in 3D. I was like, this sucks. It's not that great.
The 3D did not add a ton to that movie, I felt.
No. There was a few times in that flick when they were like in the bioluminescent forest where it looked kind of cool to me. But otherwise, I was like, it looks dark. I don't know what's going on. I can't focus on everything properly. The things that my eye might focus on is not in focus, so it was really throwing me off. And ultimately, I was like, I'm shitting on 3D right now. I don't like it. And I've only ever seen one other movie in 3D after that, and only because I was forced to.
Oh, I think 3D's come a very long way, and I think there's a lot of good movies and a lot of well-done movies in 3D nowadays. I did not like 3D in the beginning either. Gave me a massive headache. I feel that they've figured out ways to film in 3D without making it that fuzzy on the sides, headache-inducing mess, and they've realized that the movies are much darker in 3D, so they've figured out ways to lighten them up. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. God damn, that trailer in front of The Hobbit. It was
3D?
in 3D.
Oh, and?
It was fucking amazing.
It was amazing?
It was amazing.
Was it spectacular?
Spider-Man 2.
Was it, the
was-
web of?
Yeah.
Was it your friendly neighborhood?
It was Foes of Spider-Man. Isn't that a comic book? Anyway, it was really cool looking, and the 3D was not. It did not detract from everything. It enhanced what you were seeing on the screen. It did not confuse you or draw your eye away from anything. You knew exactly what you were looking at, and it was pretty awesome.
All right, good recommendation.
Yeah.
Did you notice Paul Giamatti this time?
No. I did. I think this time I did see the goblin skiff thing,
Right.
but I did not see Paul Giamatti's face.
He's right there.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. It's all right. You were probably so blown away by all the 3D objects flying at you. His little tiny face just didn't stick out. I understand. He's a tiny man.
He is a tiny man.
In a big rhino suit.
I was also busy looking for the although I guess it might not be in theater trailers. The Easter egg that people said they found in the trailer online.
I didn't fully understand what you were telling me about that.
In the trailer online, there was a website embedded in one of the frames of the trailer. And it's a shot with Electro. And I can't remember what the website is right now, but it was like Electro Lives or Here Comes Electro or I don't know. Or something.
Oh, shit, it's Dr. Tran.
It's something electro.com. And basically, it's a viral marketing website for the movie. And there's a timer on it counting down to New Year's Eve.
Interesting.
Or New Year's Day, or midnight on New Year's Eve, where apparently there's going to be some kind of marketing bullshit going into Times Square for the movie. So, expect to see that on Dick Clark, formerly Dick Clark's New Year's
right.
Eve.
I was going to say, what are you going to trot out his corpse?
That's funny that is a thing. They did that with either the end bonus scene in The Wolverine or it's in the trailer to the new X-Men movie. There is a little thing on the TV that directs you to go to traskindustries.com or something similar. And
yes, I went to that website.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was well made. I was entertained.
It was very nice, yeah. It was like a whole setup it was like a fake Trask Industries website.
Right.
Very cool. And that was it. That's all I got.
Cool.
All right.
That and for some reason, Brian texted me after the Hobbit. He goes, "There's no after credit sequence."
Did you?
I wasn't yelling via text. I was just letting you know.
The way I read it was like, Brian just assuming there's going to be an after credit sequence for every movie now?
I actually thought that there might be like a little teaser for 3. Because they were all filmed together, weren't they?
I don't think he did that this time.
Oh.
I think they did as much as they could. But I think the way I read it in the behind the scenes is that he's like, I'm not going through that bullshit again. And he's like, I'm taking my time.
Oh, see, because they're coming out back to back to back 1 year apart. So I figured that he'd filmed them all together and he's just working on the effects continuously through all 3 movies. And I thought that that's why.
I don't think
the delay.
Because the way that Lord of the Rings was shot, I believe they had 15 months to shoot everything for all 3 movies.
Okay.
And I'm sure he's shooting stuff from, all 3 movies as he's going along, but I don't think he was on such a stringent schedule that he was last time. So I'm sure there was filming done this year, along the way. Just because, he said it's fucking insane to even try to do that. Which it was. But he turned out great product.
The first time around.
I disagree. I'm back on board on The Hobbit. I liked it. We had dwarves coming out of toilets. I love that.
There's
shit.
no accounting for taste, Jared. Clearly.
Please, you liked Frozen. You have no...
Dad, why are there dwarves coming out of our toilet? That was a line from this movie, people.
It's a legitimate question.
That is a legitimate question concerning what she was looking at. What question would you ask?
I just accept it. All the other crazy shit that goes on in there, I would just be like, yep, there's dwarves coming out of our toilet.
There was a scene where Legolas balanced one leg on a dwarf head.
That is true.
Come on, it had some good Arrow shit in it with them shooting arrows and stuff.
I get enough of that on Arrow.
That's true. Oh, Arrow, you're so good.
I know we talked one of our listeners into watching it finally. Well, adding it to his queue anyway. Whether or not he actually watches it, I don't know.
No.
But Leonard said, "Oh, you've convinced me to actually watch Arrow now." So.
I'm surprised he wasn't, or at least give it a try.
He felt the same way we did about the Beefcake comic book ads.
Right.
Turned him off.
Ian, you got to get into this second season, dude. And not just because we want to talk about it, because it's that fucking good.
All right.
This last episode, at the end of it, I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
Were you not saying the same thing?
Yep.
All right.
I was.
That's how good it was.
Okay.
Actually, I was saying, "Oh snap!" That's what I was saying.
That is
I was so
unlikely.
moved by this. After that episode, I went and pulled up a scene of all the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. standing together, printed it out on my printer, and then wiped my ass with it.
Yeah.
That's how strongly I felt.
Isn't
about
that a
it.
shame? Isn't that really, really a shame?
Yeah, because the last Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was their mid-season finale, and I was like,
Oh, it was?
yeah.
Oh, sad trombone noise.
Yeah, I don't think there's I can't, it's one or the other. I can't remember which one it's, but one of them is not coming out with a new episode for about 6 weeks. Might be Arrow, unfortunately. But I know
just
that,
go back and rewatch everything.
Yeah. But
Select episodes. I don't even feel like plugging anything. This is terrible. Somebody else plug the YouTube shit, will you?
you do. You know all that shit forward and backwards. Man.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for commenting on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Prodigal Sons Podcast. And thanks for commenting on the website, prodigalsonspodcast.com. You can, if you're looking to purchase anything through Amazon this coming holiday season, which is right upon us, you can visit the link at the top of our Prodigal Sons Podcast page. It goes right to Amazon. It's a click-through. Costs you nothing extra. You just click through that link, do all your shopping, and we get a few advertising pennies on the back end. And it really shows that you enjoy the show, and we appreciate any kind of kickback you can give to us. This week, gentlemen, someone bought a can of shaving cream through the podcast website.
Yay!
Thank you, whoever purchased the shaving cream. There was also a pillow purchased, and I wasn't sure if that was mentioned last week or not, but somebody also purchased a pillow. Pillows and shaving cream, I'm not sure what's being done there. But thank you for using our link, and thank you for thinking of us. Continue to do so. And you can reach us at ProdPod on Twitter. You can also check out our YouTubes. You can check out the YouTube channel we have, where Jared puts up pictures of scantily clad women.
No, not anymore. I'm not doing that
Not anymore. You're done with that?
I'll put up. I'll stoop as low as to go puppies and kittens, but I will not do cosplay chicks anymore.
Dude, that's where I was getting all my cosplay chick feed from.
I feel so dirty.
That again, that's the thing that makes you feel dirty?
Yes, everything else I'm okay with in my life.
That's where he draws the line. That's fantastic.
But thank you, everyone, for the feedback. We've been getting lots of good and feedback is feedback. We've been getting lots of feedback on the show, good or bad.
You guys should fucking pack it in.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, if I had to sum up the show in one word, sorry.
Hands down, our
That's more than I would
best show
give it.
to date.
It's
might
my
even go-
fault. I'm sick. I'm not feeling it. I apologize.
Yeah, I would go as far as say this is the worst fucking show we've ever done.
I don't know. There is that one that we never put out.
Right? Significant
That-
worse.
I have a feeling that
Let me tell you a 5-minute story about how we met.
that's
2
a
hours
bonus
later.
pod. That's a bonus pod one day for people when we have nothing to do. If you,
I'm going to have to break it up into 4 pieces for people to listen to it.
hey, we didn't know what we were fucking doing. You guys didn't stop me. You let me go.
No. I figured you knew what you were doing. I should have known better.
Hey, you're the one with the podcasting experience. All right.
Yes. All 12 weeks ahead of this one.
Brian, the whole reason this starts is Brian's like, he's like, you want to do a podcast? I was like, yeah, let's do it. Right? Okay.
And
And then
crickets.
12 weeks goes by, and I'm like, what's going on? He goes, I thought you were going to handle it. I don't want to be in charge of this podcast.
Too late.
I want one. As a matter of fact, next week, one of you guys, you're doing the intro, and you're handling all the news and everything like that. I'm not going to fucking research a fucking thing. I'm just going to sit here and comment.
Ladies and gentlemen, see you in 2 weeks.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, 1, 2, 3, not it.
Christmas next week.
Hooray.
Is it Christmas next week?
We'll be on the day after Christmas. We'll be issuing our podcast.
Oh, so we're recording Monday.
Yeah.
So actually, we can still fit a Christmas pod in.
Absolutely.
We can talk about the Santa Claus too.
Yeah, there we go. We
And
can all watch.
Maybe we should talk about our top Christmas movies. That would have been good for this one, considering this is the last one before Christmas. But hey,
Well,
we don't plan anything out. Come
yeah,
on.
Exactly. Please. Some of us don't even show up for the planning sessions.
It's mostly me.
Wah, wah.
I would be down with that. But can we narrow it down to just like our favorite Christmas movie and not 3 fucking Christmas movies?
but there's so many.
There are.
Oh, for crying out loud!
I hadn't seen Santa Claus 2 until now, and it's just moved right up to that.
It's number 1, baby.
There's Die Hard. There's Die Hard 2. The Ref.
Iron Man 3, Lethal Weapon 3.
There you go. They're all his same movies, aren't they? Same dude.
Yeah, actually, that was Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon is.
Yeah, originally Lethal Weapon was the Christmas one.
Well, there we go. I just named mine all off.
Boom.
That and A Christmas Story.
All right, see you in 2 weeks.
All right, so is that what we're going to do? We're going to do a Christmas theme show?
Hooray!
Sure, it'll be the day after Christmas theme show.
That sounds
There you go.
perfect.
It's still the... I consider from the 25th to the 31st still Christmas time. They don't pull down the lights on the 26th. They stay up till the 2nd.
I do. I pull them all down, throw them in a box, throw them in my basement until next year.
Yells at us, don't even fucking think about Christmas till 364 days.
I pull the Grinch, I'm stuffing the tree up the chimney, you know, getting all the lights in Whoville.
You're a mean one, Mr. Edsel.
Mm-hmm. Fact.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I think we should put a nail in our worst show ever.
Oh my God, please.
Everybody, thanks for listening. I'm so sorry. Sorry. But Brian,
Don't apologize.
Yeah.
right.
That's what it is. Sometimes it shows a turn. I don't know what to tell you.
There's no way to polish this one.
No, this is unpolishable.
Come back
Can't
next
polish this
week.
thing, you're just covered in shit.
Yeah, come back next week and we'll have plenty of Christmas cheer for you. Good night.
See ya.
Take care. I thought you were going to say he went to a therapist because he kept coming too fast.
I got a problem.
Why would I say
Why would anybody say that? That's why Brian's here.
Because he was the fastest man alive. It's supposed to be funny. God damn it.
Hey, everybody, and welcome. Oh, shit. I got some news for you.
Ooh, tell us.
This show sucks.
That is not news.
Worst episode ever.
And scene.